We get to go into the final section of the video. Power scaling. Ah yes, this is going to be awesome. Actually, let's skip forward to the fighting. Actually, I'll probably need more time to explain. So, here we are going to be seeing my Phase 4. Not right here, though. This is Inferno. And it just disguises me. But, you do see my Phase 4 here. So, basically, as per usual, my Phase 4 has, like, level 4 stats. I can double those to level 8, like, level 8 strength, level 8 speed, level 8 stamina. And then also I have a 93.75% damage reduction rate, which makes me close to unkillable, but not quite. And then you also have my weapons. I can use lasers in this phase. I can use like several different things that are like on top of my other abilities. I can use like lasers. Oh, also, my shields and energy spikes are quite literally indestructible. Should be indestructible in this phase. In fact, they shouldn't have even moved away for that one energy ball Inferno threw, but I didn't think about that. I forgot they're supposed to be immovable at that point, pretty much. Like, the only thing that's going to be able to destroy them or move them is an emblem. Which, I have not talked much about the emblem lore here. You might recognize that if you've seen some stuff from the Little Daydreamer. I did take a lot of inspiration from there, and I will talk more about that later. But seeing as they have like only shown up in Hypnotize, and only one of them has ever been shown, and I've like talked to Zero about the lore significance of them, I'm not going to talk about them much here. So yeah, obviously it's a completely unfair fight here. I mean, he's like even in terms of base stats, Evil Skeleton is not using any power. Even if he even if we like said he's like using Phase 1 because he can pull his weapon back, and even then I'm still like 4 times faster, stronger, and can last way longer. Even if he's like super mad, even if he's like pushing himself to his absolute limits, he would still only last just about as long as me without me pushing myself at all. Or not, without me really pushing myself. Like, it's so one-sided at this point. Like, it's just completely unfair. The only thing that keeps it from being a massacre, realistically, I should have been able to, once we get to, like, Phase 5, my punches are technically strong enough to shatter someone's skull, or significantly damage one, basically causing permanent damage from just a normal, serious punch. And then you got Phase 6, where I'm literally supposed to be able to basically destroy someone's entire head with a single punch. So I'm like holding back a lot. But then I decided, yeah, more or less, the more power, like higher face you're using, the more sort of durability you have. It's not equal to everyone, but essentially without it, everyone's head would explode whenever I hit them in the face. So I kind of have to, like, I had to nerf that, I had to like upgrade them, because otherwise they would be destroyed. So yeah, everyone kind of has this durability factor now. I'm not really going to talk about it because it's really just for plot convenience that people don't just die, and only die whenever it's supposed to be better for the plot. That's really the point here. That's not the point. It's really just why it exists. I'll probably come up with a system for it later. But it's pretty much the only reason why people don't get immediately destroyed when I hit them in Phase 6. But you can, like, see some of that in another animation. I would like to skip to the next part where we talk about Inferno's power scaling. But let me just talk a little bit more. I mean, let's just talk about it now. So Inferno is just using a modified version of Phase 2. He's just got, like, 2 lava arms, like, lava rock covered arms. It makes him able to like compete with me, at least when he's using his arms. They won't really take much damage or like any damage. It's basically a boost for his arms, allowing him to like keep up with me in terms of punches and hits. Only problem is everything else, like his speed is way slower. I'm like way just better. Like, this should not have been like a fight here. I should have like pushed him like into the tree with that kind of force. More like broke the tree. Like, this should not have even been a third of the competition it was. Like, you can kind of just see me pretty quickly dominating after that first exchange. I'm like hitting him, throwing him everywhere. Like hardly anything he's doing matters. He's just getting cooked. He's desperate. You can tell he messed up. He messed with the wrong guy. And then you see this part. Like you see me double my power. That was not necessary. It was not. I did not need to double my stats. By the way, I would like to make a quick note. I cannot triple my stats or multiply them by times 10. I can only double. So, yeah. Otherwise, I would be pretty much unstoppable. Even for, like, the strongest characters. So, yeah, I did not need to use double the power, though. I could have 2v1'd them with, not even with me going all out. It would have just been a fairer fight. But I still, like, with strategy, I still could have easily beat them. Like, this should not have even been a fight. Like, this was easy, light work for my character. Like, it's, like, so easy for my character, it's a freaking joke. Like, they're desperate here, and I am just, like, taking no damage from them. I am having, like, such an easy time. Like, if my character was a psychopath, I'd be having fun. Actually, I would be having fun, regardless of being a psychopath or not. You can judge whether I'm a psychopath that I'm enjoying this. You can judge whether I'm a psychopath about enjoying this or not. I don't really think so, but... Of course, since when does a psychopath thought there were... Actually, I'm sure there are psychopaths who think they're psychopaths and don't care. And you get, ooh, the not anonymous... the cliffhanger. And then we have this episode 2. So we're talking about power scaling. So crystallized soldiers don't have any powers really. They're kind of like just way more resistant. Like their only advantage over other soldiers is that they're like super resistant. So they're like harder to kill than other people or other races here. The males are blue and the females are red. So we have like 3 males here that are all like in the melee, and we got like 1 female that's like shooting arrows. Amazing shot, by the way. That was a great shot. I guess I moved too quickly. And that's why you don't play with bows and arrows, kids. Because if you miss, yeah, bad things happen. So yeah, I easily breeze through them. It's light work. I'm just having fun murdering. Well, not murdering. It's not murder, okay? It's self-defense. I'm killing them in self-defense, okay? But I'm just having like a bunch of fun obliterating them in self-defense. that sounds kind of weird. But then, okay, let's talk about actual power scaling later on. I don't even need to like really explain how badly they ought to get beat normally. Because none of them use, like, anything other than Rain, like, Rain just, like, uses pots, level 2 pots. I ought to take a moment to explain how pots work here in this universe. Potions. So, you can use, essentially, potions 2 different ways. You can use them to, like, boost your stats for a significant amount of time. Like, you could give yourself, like, level 2 strength for like a minute and a half, which would be insanely OP. Or you could use it all in one burst to give you level 20 strength. Or, well, actually, I don't think that's how it works. I think it's more like you could use it all in one burst to give yourself like double that effect. Because actually, I mean, realistically, I should make it that. So I think, I don't know. The thing is, the plot kind of evolves with the story. But if I were to make it that powerful, realistically, I should have gotten hit, maybe even killed or severely injured by that hit because of how powerful it would have been. Or maybe not serious. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I'm getting like way behind myself. So here we have Rain using phase 1. They're all, well, these 2 are using phase 1. It's pretty weak. Rain's got a couple of lightning abilities. Not really that dangerous. Juliet uses golden apples. Oh, absorption. Another thing. I I like the idea of absorption actually, like, being way more OP in this universe. So essentially, what would equate to half heart of absorption now equates to you literally negating 4 different hits, no matter how powerful they are. Technically, this means that Juliet should not have taken really any damage from that hit. I didn't really think about that, but also, you don't really see what happens off camera. The idea is more or less that I just beat the crap out of Juliet. But yeah, on top of its regeneration capabilities, Gapples are now absurdly powerful. I mean, just think how strong a Notch Apple is. Now you see why I acted the way I did, immediately taking out, like immediately launching Juliet in the sky, because I knew, crap, no matter how hard I try, it's going to take me forever. I will lose incredibly valuable time if I, like, didn't waste time on that, or if I, like, didn't immediately attack there. But then you have this, so essentially okay, I don't know why I'm talking like that. Essentially, I'm just wasting time here. I'm not wasting time. I'm doing bad choreography here, pretty much, because I could have taken all 3 of them at once. I could have easily dodged the Iron Swords, fought in combat with all 3 of them, and still come out on top with their current levels of power. But instead, I decided to use my abilities to lock them in bubbles. I'm taking this fight way too seriously here. They're all weak. I mean, it makes sense. Like, look, they're starting with weak increments, and they get stronger as the series goes. Like, but I've just become so much more powerful at this point that it's not even fair to, like, all these newcomers. Like, they just get obliterated. Like, oh yes, welcome, new citizen. I will not... It's time for you to go through, your initiation. And then they all get beat up. That's their initiation. So, yeah, now we got more power scaling. We aren't really going to talk about Inferno here, because I've gone through a lot of thinking about this, and about how, whatever phase that Inferno would be in here. But then you got all these people, easy kills, all of them at the first phase. Realistically, I should have been obliterating, I mean, I was obliterating them, but realistically, I should have been able to just, like, knock them out by flicking my fingers at them. Like, I should have been able to substitute normal hits just by flicking my fingers. But of course, Minecraft characters don't have fingers, so I have to make do. I mean, some people have added fingers, but I don't like fingers in particular, because I don't know, I like the more classic Minecraft look. We got all this stuff here. What? Oh yeah, I didn't really talk about how the person here, whatever, Kai, essentially used her abilities to dominate this character's mind or control it. I don't know, like trying to indoctrinate her into her army. Of course, me being the hero, I had to save her, so yeah, I did that. Because the animated version of me, unlike the real me, is just like great at heroics. Yeah, I mean the thing is that he's just got more heroic things he can do in this world than me. Oh frick! 1 second.
It's like 5 degrees hotter in here now because you shut the door.
Oh dear.
It's 6 degrees now.
Yeesh, you wouldn't think that would make that much of a difference. Okay, whatever. On with the next part. Oh wait, there is no next part. There's like nothing else to talk about here. I absolutely dog walk them with like no effort. Like, it's easy. And of course it's easy. Because it's just unfair. Like, they're just undergoing their initiation of pain. Like, we're just waiting out the storm at this point. We don't really need to there's nothing in terms of power scaling to really talk here, because it's clear. Oh wait, yes there is. Yes there is, boy. Okay, so let's let's ignore Blue Tons here, who's getting his power. This is the scene where he gets his powers for the first time. W for Blue Tons, but also this scene sucks. But regardless of whether this scene sucks, we gotta talk about how effortlessly, well, we don't actually have to talk about how effortlessly I destroy Rocco's team, because actually, the main focus of what I want to talk about here is Neon. So Neon's ability is basically telekinesis. One thing here, though, that I like to look at here is how he tries to use telekinesis on me. But you see, I have immunity to pretty much any ability like that, so he cannot use that on me. And of course, he gets a gruesome death. Yes, he actually is dead. It's not impossible to revive people, though. You can you can survive death. You can pop a totem, but you can also in this universe use totems to revive people. It just takes a lot longer and is a lot more of a difficult process. So Mew Mew and Neon are not permanently dead. Don't worry about that. My brother would never let me do that. Also, they're just not supposed to die in the series. That would have been absolutely brutal if they only got to live for one episode. That would have been horrible. Imagine, you die in the first episode, you come into the series end. I mean, actually, that's Kai. Kai actually did die in the first episode she came into the series, way back in Blue Tons' episode. So yeah, now more power scaling in episode 4. So Kitty here uses phase 2. Not very, it's not exactly, it's kind of crazy, I guess. You got her level 2 teleport, which is the same as my maxed power teleport. Then you got her cool bow that can shoot energy projectiles, because that's swag. You got her level 2 telekinesis. You got her ghost ability, which is sick. I almost said I wish I had a ghost ability, but that doesn't really fit my moveset. My character is more about absolutely obliterating anything in his path, not just letting things move through him. But realistically, that is a very OP ability. Then you have all of Rocco's team getting destroyed. So, Flasher. Flasher's supposed to be absurdly fast. Originally in the plot, he was going to be so fast that his phase 2 was already going at the speed of light. Yeah, I had some issues with that, because that's way too OP. So I nerfed him. But even with him nerfed, he eventually gets absurdly powerful, to the point that he causes not one, but 2 crises in power scaling. Impressive record for Flasher. But anyways, currently he's only going at a speed level, well, his base speed level is 2, but then I basically made him, where every phase he goes, essentially, in phase 1 he can only use a speed level 1, which means he doesn't even increase his speed at all. Well, actually, most people that would double their speed, but I'm just not letting him do that because he gets way too OP later on. So he's not fast at all, really, in phase 1. But then in phase 2, Flasher's got all this cool stuff. He can, all this cool stuff. What am I saying? Flasher's got, a level 2 base speed, but then on top of that, his actual speed, when he uses speed, he quadruples, he multiplies it by 4, so he's got a speed level of 8. Which is actually, it means he's already faster than me in phase 6. In phase 2, mind you. This is how dangerous Flasher's already becoming in the series. Flasher is not someone to be messed with. He is deadly. On second thought, I'm gonna nerf him again. On second thought, his speed level is just 4. There we go. He's nerfed. He's not insanely OP, unlike me. He's gonna still get OP though anyways, regardless. So yeah, this should not have happened. Kitty should not have been that easily beaten down like that. Then you got Phoenix. Phoenix, this pretty much would have happened anyway. Originally he was gonna hit me, and he was gonna cause damage. Serious damage. Essentially Phoenix's phase 2 is no joke. He's able to throw punches that would hurt me, even in phase 5. He is insanely strong at phase 2, and he kind of forgoes a lot of that strength in phase 3 and 4. But, yeah. Okay. So, I don't think that's going to reduce the noise at all from the other room. But anyways, yeah, we get a little bit more of a showcase of how close Kitty's already coming to being as strong as me. Pretty powerful. And then, other than just like those abilities I mentioned earlier, she's of course got speed and shockwaves just like my character. But then she has abilities I don't have. And I have abilities she doesn't have, but I think it's a lot more stacked in her favor, her increasing the high level of strength. But at the end of the day, she does cap out lower than I cap out, so I still end up being the strongest emblem wielder, well, so far that we know about. And technically, none of us have wielded emblems in the series ever yet, because we just haven't gotten that strong. And then, yes, episode 5, the grand finale. So, once again, as I was stating before, the teammates don't work well in tandem. This is the only reason why I don't get absolutely obliterated this episode, because all of them, even in their current state, if they worked well in together as a team, I would get destroyed. However, as I said before, Rocco's team does not operate well as an actual team. They have a lack of experience, and they are eventually going to make up for this later on. It's going to be like character development stuff for their team, but for now they're all fighting alone. Now, to yap about our main power scaling issue at hand. We got Flasher. One second, let me actually... So I'm in phase 6 here, okay? I've got like level 6. Actually, I have doubled my power with that little thing there. That's supposed to be me doubling my power. I don't know. Generally, it's me showing off, doing something like that. Like summoning a laser down is generally me doubling my power now. But I got like a speed level of 12 here. So the first person that comes at me is Ender Steve. Ender Steve is currently immune to damage in phase 3 and has a teleporting level higher than my own. But I am 4 times faster than him. So, he teleports behind me, doesn't act fast enough, and I hit him. Realistically, though, he should have gotten up from this. This is one power scaling problem in the video. He should have gotten up from this, as this would have done 0 damage to him. He would have been completely fine and should have been able to continuously fight. Then his teleporting advantage would have made serious trouble for me, as the gap between teleporting level 2 and 3 is huge. It's the difference between being able to teleport once in a while and being able to teleport constantly. So, it's a huge difference, and is absolutely a crucial difference in a fight. So, actually, he should have been an absolute nightmare for me, since I would not be able to hurt him, and he would continuously keep coming back. But, that doesn't happen. I didn't really think about that. Then, that's probably one of the most crazy scenes in the entire thing. And you probably don't even think about it, because there's so many scenes just like it, where I just beat down Rocco's team so easily with like minimal effort. But here, they've actually grown a lot stronger in this phase. Now actually, Flasher should not have been using this phase in the actual fight. He is actually supposed to be using phase 3, but turns out phase 3 does not have the mask. I designed this mask, by the way. But, regardless, this is not supposed to happen, but it is happening, because I animated it already and didn't find out until later. So, yeah, he is currently in phase 4. This means he should have had a speed level of 16, which is higher than mine, even when doubled like this, by 25%. On second thought, this actually does make enough sense, as he was moving far further than I was. So, actually, it kind of makes sense that I would be able to block quickly enough, considering that in my current phase I'm able to sense people's movements. Like, for like phases 1 to 2 I can only like sense their like sort of presence when they're nearby. Phases 3 and 4 I can kind of sense anyone's general location and stuff like that. But at phases 5 and 6, I can pretty much sense every movement they're making, and at the present. If I focus, I can use it against them. But so I only do that when I have a breathing moment though, and that came in clutch here, because otherwise, Flasher's got a pretty good speed here. But one punch should be enough to eliminate him. So on second thought, second power scaling problem with my new different version of Flasher that I'm using here. Power scaling crisis has been averted. So you have Flasher, you got cooked. Now we have Phoenix, phase 3. Not that strong. One hit, took him down. And of course, as we might know, if you've seen anything against Nightmare, I'm not affected by energy attacks at all. However, I am affected by elemental attacks, which I did not talk about there. However, their effects have only 50% effectivity, meaning, actually, I didn't think about this, but realistically, I should have been moderately affected, but not really that much, considering I only take 1.25% of the actual full damage, so it really wouldn't have been that noticeable at all. And then you have all of them powering up here. This team actually would work well in tandem. They have experience, and they are well trained. But, what are you doing?
Opening up the door.
Okay. But, I basically abused my speed here. Because my base speed is 12, and then I can multiply it by 4, I have a full speed here of 48. That's enough speed that my hits alone are absurdly strong, just without me using, any strength, really. And I abused it heavily here. You can tell, because, when I move, this guy didn't even react. And then you see him react later. The point is that I'm so fast that not even he was able to react, and he's in phase 2. The whole point is that I'm going so fast, they didn't even have time to react. Because if I gave them time to react, or if I gave them time to work together, they would have become a significant problem for me. Then we have me versus Kitty again. Because Kitty is just not satisfied with getting beat that easily. So she comes back. In phase 3... And we actually see Kitty do really, really well here. Because Kitty actually lands several hits on me. Of course, they have next to no effectivity on me. And, yeah. Kitty did not react quickly enough and got cooked. Really though, it had, no effect on Kitty. But it gave me time to escape. Because Kitty can heal others and can also revive at phase 3. So yeah, that's all. That was a lot of yapping for me to do. I'm gonna divide this into sections, and I hope you enjoyed this insanely large amount of info dumping, because I just have not yapped that much about this stuff, and so I have had a bunch of lore developing that I have done, and I just haven't gotten to talk about it. And so, also so I've got power scaling, lore, and then all this animation yap I wanted to talk about. I will upload these in, different sections. So yeah, I will be uploading those, and I hope you, I mean, I would say don't really watch them. It's not really worth it at this point. But, yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for devoting this time to me. If you enjoyed this, I would hope you would subscribe. And goodbye, my friends.